So first morning out here in the desert. A little later start than I wanted, but we came out, we're checking some of these secluded rock formations, and we got a desert spiny back in here, if you can see him. Now he's hiding in the shade. It might still be a little too warm for some guys to be out in direct sunlight. It's about 80 degrees. We might try and get out here earlier the next couple of days, but I'm hoping we can still see some snakes and maybe some other lizards hanging out along some of these formations. This is so cool to be back in the desert. I'm really excited to find anything, just anything and everything. Walking up the trail, and we have walkies, which is always a good thing to have when you're in a larger group and you guys split up. We hear on the walkie, rattlesnake. So, like any crazy herper, I run up the hill, so I'm a little out of breath. We get up here, this is actually a speckled rattlesnake. Now this is a really cool snake. When we first got here, he was trying to go every different direction that I was. Now we've bothered him a little bit, so now he's eyeing me down, making sure I don't mess with him anymore. But he has not rattled once. So that says that the snake is not truly threatened. He just wants to make sure that I'm not going to bug him anymore. He wants nothing to do with me. He is every move I make, he is going the other direction. He wants to stay away from me. Now, snakes, they don't want to hunt us down or anything like that, especially venomous snakes. They don't want to waste their venom on something that they're not going to eat. So normally, if you get bit by a venomous snake, I mean, obviously you're going to need to seek medical attention, but a lot of times they don't want to inject their venom because they want to save that for prey items that they can actually eat. Because, believe it or not, they do not have an endless supply of venom. Once they deposit that venom in whatever they're, striking at, they actually take a few weeks to build that venom back up. So, I mean, he wants nothing to do with us. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to take some photos of this guy, and then I'm going to let him be on his way, because obviously that's what he wants to do. Just pull in here. Just pull in this wash. You would have got smushed, dumbass. So we were on our way out, headed back to get lunch, and this beautiful gopher snake was crossing the road. Luckily, it was us that came up on him, because there were some cars behind us that probably would have just ran this guy right over. This is such a beautiful snake. Now, he's calmed down a lot since I grabbed him, but I don't know if you probably can't hear him. He's just consistently hissing while I'm holding him. These guys, they are known for that. They will actually, when they get threatened, they will coil up in the striking position and they will breathe in heavily, and then they will expel all that air in a big giant hiss. Just check the colors out on this thing, how it goes from dark to light and then back to dark across that beautiful yellow body. I am absolutely thrilled that we found this. So we're gonna take some photos and then we're gonna let him go. So, second snake of the night, we have a glossy snake here. We found one fairly right before this one. It was actually hit by a car, unfortunately. But this one is pretty small. It is baby season, so the babies are coming out. They don't know where to go, so they're crossing the roads when the night falls. These are primarily a nocturnal species of snake. They prefer a lot of different habitats. There he goes. Oh, look at that guy. That's cool to just watch him slide along the sand like that. Alright, so this is a first for me. One other thing I guess you gotta watch out for when you're out here cruising at night in the desert are actually tarantulas. These guys, I barely saw him on the road. He blended in. We pulled over and he walked off the road. You can see him pretty clearly now, but he's about to walk back up on the road, and you can see he blends right in with that road. So I am pretty stoked that I saw him. That is a cool spider. He might crawl on me if I let him. He's probably not going to. Nope. You don't want anything to do with that.
Hopefully he's still there. There he is.
Oh, there's a snake in the road.
What is it? Let's go find out.
Little Sidewinder.
Lost him.
Huh?
There he is.
Move him out of the road.
Saving snakes, it's a hobby.
So the first night we got here, we were having a lot of luck. It was mid-90s, almost 100 degrees. Now, it is the third night, and we didn't have much luck last night, but it has dropped significantly in temperatures. I mean, it's, as the sun goes down, it's dropping to about mid-70s very quick, which is actually good for some snakes, like this one here. This is a Rosebow Boa. They're actually more cold tolerant. They can stay active, you know, low 60s. Now, like I said, it's no surprise we found him out here on this cooler night. Now, this is one of the only two native species of boa in North America, the other one being the rubber boa. But this guy here, this is such a beautiful snake. If you can get in here and see this, he is like a tan color with this reddish pinkish stripe. They have this just beautiful hue that runs along their belly, all these little belly speckles. This is such a cool snake. It is such a cool find to see just one of the only two native species of boa that live out here in North America. So I'm not going to bother this guy too much. I'm going to go ahead, set him down, maybe take, well, not maybe, definitely going to take a couple photos, and then we're going to hopefully see if we can find something else on this cool night. Now, there's not too many cold tolerant snakes out here in the desert, but there are a few. This one here, this little guy, this is actually a Lyre Snake. They are a nocturnal species of snake, so they do have the vertical pupils, which help reflect moonlight so they can see better at night. Now, this is a venomous snake, but not in the sense of, say, like your rattlesnakes, the pit vipers. So if these guys bite you, the way that their mouth is set up, they don't have the big fangs or anything like that. They have tiny little teeth, and they can barely even break the skin. And if they do, they're going to have to chew on you a while to get any kind of injection of venom. And most likely, the venom is so mild that you're going to have an allergic reaction to have any kind of reaction to it. This one's very small. They average about 2 feet. Oh, he's striking at me again. He's biting himself because he's so mad. But if you want to come up here and get a closer look at this guy before we let him go, just so you can see what I was talking about, his vertical pupils. And one other thing that's kind of cool that I noticed, they have a very, very blunt face. Like their snout or rostral scales, they're very compacted. It's really cool just to see this guy up close.
So I know in our past videos we don't normally show the same species of snake. However, this, believe it or not, is a second Rosebow Boa. So it's just really incredible to see out here, especially because we're in a completely different location than we found the other one on the video. As you can see, this one is a lot smaller than the one Matt was showing you. And Matt did give a lot of great facts about it, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I just wanted to show you this because this is amazing. We're both really, really excited seeing this. It's a very secretive snake, so seeing two is kind of bizarre. They're just very rarely seen, not because their populations are hurting or anything, it's just because they are such a secretive snake. So we're going to take some more photos and see what else we can find.
Road cruising in the desert. I mean, I know a lot of people think rattlesnakes are dirt common out here. We actually haven't seen too many. Just came across this big speckled. I mean, it's getting pretty late. I didn't expect to see a big rattlesnake like this, especially on some of these colder nights. But, I mean, you could tell, you can see how slow this snake is moving. It's a cold night. I'm very surprised that this thing is out this late. And, I mean, he does not care at all, which is kind of funny. So I'm going to help him out of the roads just in case he doesn't get smashed. But let's see if he actually gets angry at me. Just a little bit. Get him out of the road.